And when anything you have to ask in between, you are most welcome to unmute, say, excuse me, ma'am, and ask the question, clarify your query. Okay. Now we'll begin the class. I want each one of you to sit in a graceful posture, back straight. I hope you're not sitting on your bed, a chair, a sofa, feet touching your ground. And as we are doing the sermon at Benares, which is a chapter relating to teachings of Gautam Buddha. I have read this once, but I would, because today being the last, we will be concluding our chapter today. So I would just once again come back to the teachings of Buddha. Just it will take me half a minute to read, and then I will share something with you about life. About because in this chapter he speaks about sorrows, how a human being can free from these sorrows. Now, once upon a time, people used to complain about their sufferings and pain. Everybody thought that my pain is the greatest pain. Each of them was sure that his suffering or her suffering was the greatest, was the worst what the God has given to them. Then the master, the Zadik, told them a story. I want you to listen to the story, and then you will realize how lucky, how fortunate how we all are. And then we'll conclude to the chapter. On the day of judgment, all the people met before God. God allowed them to be free from their suffering by hanging them on the branches of the great tree of sorrow. So all met God, and God told them that you hang your sufferings they were hung on a tree, on the great tree of sorrows, because they complained to God that my sorrow, you have given me the worst one. After that, for a long time, everybody was free from pain and sorrow. God removed all their sorrows, but hung their sorrows on the tree. They could enjoy them, so they were now free. Rakshita, mute yourself, darling. So they were now free because sorrows were removed. They could enjoy themselves to the fullest, to their heart's content. At the end of that glorious time, God gave them some specific time. He said, I am freeing my world from the sorrows. Go and enjoy. Everybody was happy. But what happened? That time has to come, na? Has to end. The time ended. God asked the people to go around the great tree of sorrows. Now he told the people, go and have a look at all those sorrows, what is written. You read those sorrows and pick up from the tree any sorrow they find which is best suited to them. Have you understood? 10th standard, I hope this is a very simple story. I think you have understood. God removed everybody's sorrows. He hung each sorrow on a tree, and then they have few years of contentment. Then when that period ended, suppose let's assume it was 10 years. Then after 10 years, everybody came. God told them that go around and read each sorrow. Just say, I have written my sorrow, you have written your sorrows. Go and read. Pick out one sorrow which you suit. This is the best for me. ये मैं ले लेती हूँ. ये मेरे लिए ठीक है. Because you have to take back one sorrow. It was yours. One sorrow was yours. People went round and round the tree. They looked at all the sorrows hanging from its limbs. They could see sorrows hang. It was not easy for them to decide which sorrows to choose. They could not think which sorrow should I choose. Yeah, this is very difficult. This is very painful. This is also very full of agony. But they had to choose one. There was no option. They could not escape that. Finally, when all had picked up the sorrows of their choice, God looked around and said, what did he see? God saw that each one had chosen their own sorrow, because they found that This was the simplest sorrow. That the sorrow which they was thinking, that they thought that the God has given them the worst, was the simplest sorrow, was the easiest. So life is full of sorrow. We should not complain about what we have. Instead, we are fortunate. If you see the TV nowadays, people dying of hunger. At least we have shelter and food and clothes, and we wake up early in the morning. So I want each one of you. Now, what we are going to do is about life. Explanation of Buddha's escaping from how one can escape from the life, from the sorrows of life. Life you cannot escape, but how you can face them and how you can be comfortable. Make your life easy and comfortable. 10 standard, all in a prayerful posture, all in a prayerful mood, and say a thank you note to God. Ask for his forgiveness. Ask for ask him, thank him for that life is a precious gift from God. We all must celebrate life. We must all have courage and make right decisions to choose our life. Okay, are we ready for the class? 11th, 10th standard?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand what I read to you?
Yes, ma'am.
I hope the message is clear to you. And now I'm going to you about now. I think have you understood what Kisa Gomti understood the first time and what Buddha wanted to explain to her in the second time? Can anybody tell me what was the first time she went from house to house? Fast, fast. Because today I have to wind up the lesson. Hurry up,
She was
otherwise
asking for the medicine which
Asking
can cure her
medicines.
son.
correct. She was asking from the medicine, but she did not get it. So you have to explain this. Now, I think I have explained this very clearly and everybody has understood. And now next, what was the second time?
Handful of mustard seeds.
Yes, handful of mustard seed. Did she get it? No.
No.
And what did she understand? She understood that
That death is common to all.
yes, that death is common to all. And you have to write everything that she sat down, she saw those flickering of the lights, and when they were all extinguished, there was night, there was darkness, rain everywhere. So she understood that life, that the was common to all. So nobody can escape it. She understood, and her pain was relieved. Understood? Should we move on?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Questions, please, then you ask me. The Buddha said, the life of the mortals in this world. Who are mortals? The people who die. The one
Die.
who die, yes, is mortals. I'll give you the word meanings when we'll. And troubled in this world is troubled and brief and combined with pain. He says everybody who comes to earth, who is living, eh, their lives are troubled and they have trouble, they have pain. For there is no any means by which those who have been born can avoid dying. So he said, no, everybody has to die. Nobody can escape death. After reaching old age, there is death. Some die at a young age. Of such a nature are living beings. He says, living beings are of their nature, are of the kind that they have to die at after reaching certain age. As he gives an example, as ripe fruits are early in danger of falling. जैसे पका हुआ फल will fall down. If we do not pluck it up from the tree, it will finally fall down. because it has ripened. It has lived its life. So mortals are born, when born, are always in the danger of death. So he says anybody who has born is always in a danger of death. That means he has to die. Nobody can escape death. As all earthen vessel means made by the potter. You will understand. Mitti ke bartan, made by the potter and in being broken. मिट्टी का बर्तन टूटता है, isn't it? When it falls, it breaks. Sometimes with the usage, it breaks. So he has given us the examples that the fruit also falls. The potter, the vessels made up of earth, soil, clay, they also break. And nobody can escape death. He was saying that end of a life has to be there. Both young and adults, those who are fools and those who are wise, all fall in the power of death, all are subject to death. He says it's not that the fools or the rich or the poor will remain. Everybody falls to the prey in the clutches of death. He wants to say, have you understood the message, beta? 10th standard understood what I'm trying to tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
That everybody, whether it is young, whether he is wise, whether he is fool, whether he is powerful, whether he is rich, whether he is anybody who is born is subject to death. Now, of those, who, now, of those means उनमें से जो overcome by death, depart from life, जो मर जाते हैं, they depart from life, they go away from life. A father cannot save his son. Sometimes children die before the parents. So even a father cannot save his son, nor kinsmen, their relations. Nobody can, not even the king cannot save their beloved ones, their loved ones. Mark, while relatives are looking and lamenting deeply. Lamenting means to express. When somebody closely dies, we cry, we express our feelings. That is lamenting deeply. One by one, mortals are carried off. एक एक करके सब मर रहे हैं, and we are expressed. Now you see what is happening. What Corona has done. If you look at the newspaper, if you look at the news, sometimes they show hundreds of dead bodies. And what are the relatives doing? Those who are left behind, they lament, they cry, they express their feelings, but they cannot. Even some best medicines, best of everything is given to them, but they cannot bring back to the life. One by one, mortals are carried off like an ox that is led to slaughter. जैसे वो बकरे को लेके जाते हैं ना, ox, you understand? For the slaughter, slaughter. So that is how the dead ones are, the mortals are carried away after their death. He's just trying to say that whatever happens, you cannot escape death. One has to die. One will die. Neither from weeping nor from grieving will anybody obtain peace of love. He says that, so the world is afflicted, that is to give pain with death and decay. Decay means fruits will decay. Na? Decay is also another form of death. The ripened fruit has decayed. Therefore, the wise do not grieve, knowing the terms of the world. He says, those who know the ways of God, those who know that all those who are born, they have to die, they will not feel that much of pain, because they know that this is what God is. This is what the life is all about. Neither from grieving. He says, रोने से, दुख करने से, nobody will obtain the peace of mind. Nobody, you express your feelings. You throughout your pain, you may for some time. Weeping will relieve your pain, but you will not obtain your peace of mind. On the contrary, on the other hand, his pain will be greater and his body will suffer. The more you feel the pain, the more you cry, the more you grieve, the more your body will suffer and more pain will be there. So you will make yourself more sick and pale. Are you understanding? 10th standard?
Yes,
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
ma'am.
And okay. Now he says, yet the dead are not saved by his lamentation. Even whatever you do, dead are not saved. You may lament, you may grieve, you may weep, you may have all kinds of pain. You may make yourself sick, but dead will not come back because you there. They have to die. Death is common to all. All mortals have to die. Now he says what? I want you to listen to this beautiful line. Please. He who seeks peace, he is here, he's referring to the human beings, any one of us. It can be anyone. So he says, he who seeks peace, jo, one who is searching for peace, should draw out the arrow of lamentation. Arrow, yahan, tir. It, because death of a dear one or a near one, it is like an arrow, jahan par jaise tir chupta hai. That is, it is, he says, must draw out that arrow and throw it away, and complaint and grief. He should draw out that pierce, that pinpoint, which of weeping, grieving, and complaining. The one who throws out that arrow, that pain from his mind, body, and soul. Because the one who will understand that God, it is the way of God, has become composed. वो ठहर जाता है. He understands. He becomes calm. Composed here is calm and will obtain peace of mind. He will, the one who understands that death was common, it has happened because it was the way of God. I could not prevent it, because nobody can escape death. One who understands this will be at his, will have peace of mind. He who has overcome all sorrows will become free from sorrows and be blessed. Understood? That one who understands that this is what is life all about. I have to, I have to face what my life is, what my destiny is. And if you, those who have listened to the story, what I said, this is why it was that we may feel that I am the one who is the most, my grief is the biggest, is the largest. But when we looked at the others, everybody felt, nahi yaar, I would take mine only because this is, I think, I feel this is the easiest one. This is the most, with the less pain. Understood 10th standard? This is what its lesson is all about. Have you understood? I want answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Any line which you have not understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, okay. I will give you just one. You, all of you have your books with you. You take out your books. I will give you just 1 minute to read the what we have to do today. What we did today, not do today. What we did today, I want you to read. Any word, any line not understood, please ask. I want you to write the word meanings. Any questions regarding the chapter, regarding this part, 10th standard?
No.
Then you write the meanings of lament. Hurry up, fast, fast, before the time runs out.
Ma'am,
Pardon?
can you explain last two lines?
He who has drawn out the arrow He who has drawn out the arrow has become composed. It means that who has thrown away the pain. You cannot throw away the pain, but you understand the reality that my loved one has left me because it was the time for him to go. This much was his lifespan. So he is going. I can understand. I cannot bear, but I have to live my own life without him or her. So one who draws out and understands, he becomes peace. He will obtain peace of life, peace of mind, and will obtain peace of mind. He who overcomes all sorrows. जिसको सब समझ आ गया, because this is the way of God. This is what it is life. Life is not only about being in joy and happiness. Pain is also there. Will be free from sorrows. And the one who is free from sorrows, who is free from sorrows? Answer me this question. Who is free from sorrows?
Who knows the real meaning of death?
Yes. I mean, the one who doesn't feel that pain, he feels that pain, but he overcomes that pain um, from his life. Correct? Understood? 10th standard?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody wants to ask anything? And before the time runs out, 10th standard, we will be posting one test question paper. Komal ma'am will be posting for both 10th A and B Google form test paper today. At what time will be informed through the group, and that has to be submitted. Everything will be okay. Understood? Especially 10th B. Are you listening?
Yes, ma'am.
One test in the evening. You have time. You only prepare the poems. It is only about poems. You have only 2 poems. Prepare it and submit it. Okay? I want everybody to submit both the classes. 10th A. I'm talking to both the classes, 10th A and B because I'm saying B because it is for the first time with me. But you know how to, and don't ask me any questions because you know how to submit and how to answer. Do you know this?
Yes,
Correct?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct. So time and all that will be informed. I'll just speak, but it will be roundabout after 6 o'clock or after 5:30. Okay? Is it fine? 10th standard?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
it will be in the Google Classroom.
Yes,
So please
ma'am.
keep a check after 5:30. You will be finding that small paper and answer and submit. And one thing more,
Okay.
keep your queries ready for the unit test in the next. And I will be also sending one test paper through Campus Care. One of those test papers through Campus Care. So please check your Campus Care. It's my request. Everybody is, I think, downloaded Campus Care. Everybody is in the Campus Care. So please be ready for that. Any questions? And standard, any questions from the lesson?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
So any question regarding grammar? Next class, I will prepare and I will let you know what are we going to do, because I think whenever it is, exam is on 12th August, isn't it? So please start preparing. 10th A and 10th B, Google form will be there. So please start preparing how to submit it, how to do it, how to attach the attachments, files and all that. You must be ready. Okay, anything you want to ask? So should we move on to the question and answers?
Yes.
Huh? Nothing, because I just wanted to be very, to give you this information beforehand before. So should we move to the question and answers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, first question. First question, who will answer? Rakshita. Okay. Read and, well, 10th standard, first, one thing I want to tell you, I think every answer has been explained to you. Yes or no? One girl must answer. Somebody must answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Because as I've told you that this is the answer. This is the answer of second and third. This is what I'm going to explain you is an answer. Okay. First question. Who's that? Who said? Rakshita, answer. Where is she?
Ma'am, I have to say
Rakshita?
only answer.
Oh, What is? I'll read the question also, beta.
What is a sermon? How it is different from a lecture? Ma'am,
Yes.
answer.
Hmm.
A sermon is a religious talk. It is usually given by a religious leader. A lecture is a talk that is given to a group of people to teach them about a particular subject.
Correct. It is very good. Correct. Now, Tanya, second question.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, question
Yes.
also.
Yes.
When
Yes.
her
Of
son,
course. Question answer.
when her
When
son
her son.
dies, Kisa Gotami goes from house to house. What does she ask for? Does she get it? Why not? When Kisa Gotami's son dies, she goes from house to house in her grief. She asks for the medicine that can bring her dead son back to life. But no medicine that can give life to her son.
Beta, your voice was not very clear, but very good. You knew the answer. It is correct that she goes from house to house. And now you have to explain this. This is you cannot answer 10th standard cannot answer in just two lines that she goes from house to house. Correct, but I understand. It means you have understood. She goes from house to house. She could not bear the loss of her son, and she asked for a medicine, but she did not get it because there was no medicine which that could bring life back, or that can put life into the dead. Understood? Next question. Who will answer third? Who's that? Sabita. Okay, bolo. Sabita.
Question is yes, ma'am. The
Yes,
question is
question is Rakshita
Kosi
Thapa. Now don't raise your hand. And next is Ananya. Pardon, bolo beta Sabita. Read.
Kosi Gomti again goes from house to house for after she speaks with Buddha. What does she ask for the second time around? Does she get it? Why not? When Kosi Gomti went again from house to house, she asked for a handful of mustard seeds as asked by the Buddha, but she wasn't able to get it because a Buddha told her that she has to bring these mustard seeds from where nobody has from the house from where nobody has dead, but she did not got
Nobody
it
has
because
died or death has not ever occurred. Nobody has died and death has not ever occurred.
but she has not got that got
But she did
the
not get
mustard
the
seeds because there
because she
was no home where nobody has gone.
had where nobody had died. So understood 10th standard? Correct. Ananya, third question, fourth question. Ananya.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh,
What
correct.
does Giza Gotami understand the second time that she failed to understand the first time? Was this what the Buddha wanted her to understand? Answer. Giza Gotami understood the second time that death is coming, that death is common to all, and that she was being selfish in her grief. She understands that no medicine could bring a dead person back to life. There was no house where some beloved had not died. Yes,
Correct.
this was the Buddha wanted her to understand.
Correct. So see, I'll tell you, you gave the answers in detail. First and second can be combined. Now, she failed to understand this. Correct. Understood. And now, this for fourth question, Hiti. Hiti,
Yes, ma'am.
next question, beta.
Why do you think Kiza Gotami understood this only the second time? In what way did the Buddha change her understanding? When she was seeking for miracle medicine, she was not in position to understand the certainty of death. When she went in search of seeds, she could understand that grief strikes everybody. She understood that she was not only the person on this planet who has lost her child. Buddha guided her to discover the sorrow of others. Most of us has the tendency to think about ourselves, and that is why we feel too happy or too sad. If we try to take a wider perspective, then we can be in a position to withstand up and down of life in a better way.
Okay, correct. Now, this is next Tanya. Tanya, did you answer before?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Sage deep now.
Yes, ma'am. Usually,
Sage deep, yes.
how do you
Answer.
usually understand the idea of selfishness Kisa Gotami that she is being selfish in her grief? Answer: selfishness usually means thinking of oneself or without caring about others. We can't say that Kisa Gotami was selfish in her grief, she was only ignorant of hard reality.
Correct. So this has to be explained. Now, see, question number third, fourth, fifth, you need to explain with that when she sits down that under, I had told you while explaining that when she sat down along the wayside, she looked at those flickering lights and she understood then that the life was like it was shining. You live your life, and then after some time, like the lights, they oil lamps, they were extinguished. In the same way, life of of a human being is like this only. And this is what Buddha wanted her to explain or make her understand, that there is no medicine. Those who are born, they have to die. And now, last question: do you agree Kisa Gumti was being selfish enough? See, we can say there are three things. Yes, she was being selfish because she only thought about only herself, only her son. And then she an answer, because maybe she was ignorant also, and that about death. But when she understood, and now she understood what when she went to Buddha. Understood? Attention standard. Anything you want to ask
Yes.
me? Which question? Any question which has to be repeated, but you have to explain that her son died. She goes from house to house. Some people call her mad, some laugh at her, but there was one person who sent her to Buddha. When she goes to Buddha, Buddha tells her to bring mustard seed with the condition that the mustard seed should be from the house where no death has ever occurred. Correct?